Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Official Dandys World tutorial. If you're here, you came to the right place. In this video, I will be talking about the basics, stats, toons, twisteds, and trinkets. And here are the timestamps for each part if you're looking for something specific. So let's get started. The basics. When you first join Dandy's World, you get a choice between Poppy and Boxton. Poppy is the fast character while Boxton is the one that is fast at machines. Choosing one really depends on your playstyle. During the game, you and at most 7 people will go into a room to finish 4 machines and collect ichor, which is the currency of Dandy's World. While doing this, monsters called twisteds will be chasing you. The amount of machines and twisteds will rise with how many floors you complete. You start with 3 hearts, 2 if you are playing a main, which I will explain later. You will find things on the floor in the rooms that can help you, stuff like medkits which can heal you, candy which can give you a speed boost, or jumper cables that will boost the machine's progress. Lastly, while you're on the elevator after a floor, you will get one of 2 things, switching each time. On odd floors, you will get upgrades which will help you later. Currently there are 10 upgrades and you can really choose anything except blind grab, spare change, and frugal because they aren't very helpful. On even floors you get Dandy's shop which can contain anything you find on the ground in the rooms. The last thing I will talk about is blackouts, which is the reason for the upgrades like electrician. The chance of a blackout goes up each floor, which will make it very dark. Basically the worst thing that can happen in the round. Stats. Every toon has stats that will tell you what they're good or bad at. In Dandy's World there are 6 different categories, which are health, skill check, movement speed, stamina, stealth, and extraction speed. Health is self-explanatory, you have 3 or 2 depending on the character you are playing, and if you get attacked by a twisted, you lose one. Skill check is not something you need to worry about. Every once in a while, on machines a skill check will pop up and you just need to press space/tap when it's on the white bar. The higher the stars, the bigger the skill check. Movement speed and stamina is really important to have. Being fast and gaining stamina back quickly will help you escape the twisteds and make it further in the game. Stealth is important too, but it's not very life-threatening. The twisteds will see you from further away and will chase you instead of somebody they are already chasing if you have less stealth. As long as you are fast enough to escape them, you'll be fine. Extraction speed is also very important. Being able to do machines fast can be life-saving to the group and to you. Toons. Now it's time to describe the characters so you can figure out who's best for you. I'll be throwing them into a kind of grid and talking about them one by one. We have the normals, which are toons that are easy to obtain as a starter, mediums which are a bit harder to obtain, and mains, which are the main characters of Dandy World, which are super hard to get. Then we have kites, which are basically distractors, mat rushers, which can do machines fast, and survivalists plus supports, which either help the team in a way or are well-rounded, but not super fast at either running or doing machines. First, we have Boxton in the normal mat rushers section. Out of the starter characters, he's fast at machines and his ability is wind up. The more people in the server, the better he is at machines. If you chose Poppy instead of him, he costs 250 ichor. Next to him in the same section is Roger, costing 1000 ichor and 50% research on any twisted. He's of course fast at machines, and a really good character for collecting research if you're a beginner, because of his ability Detective, which times all research by 2. Next to those 2 is the next starter, Poppy, who is a survivalist. She's pretty well-rounded and can run fast. Her ability Panic Pop allows her to have a speed boost when she is attacked by a twisted, and if you choose Boxton instead of her, she costs 250 ichor. Next is Toodles, which is also a survivalist. Costing 500 ichor and having to survive 15 floors, it's quite easy to obtain her. She is fast and well-rounded. Her ability Beginner's Luck allows her to get a 15% random boost for 10 seconds, which can be life-saving at some points. Moving on to the medium section, we have Goob, our first kite, costing 1750 ichor and 50% research on Scraps, which is his sister. He's very fast and can distract the twisteds while the others do machines. His ability Hug allows him to grab another toon to his location, which is very helpful when running to an elevator since it's usually crowded with twisteds. Razzle and Dazzle, our first toon that I put in the middle of 2, they cost 2000 ichor. Their ability Comedy/Tragedy allows them to be fast on odd floors, but fast on machines on even floors. Personally, I think they are really strong at what they do on the certain floor, but then also really weak at the other thing. Only use this if you know how to avoid the twisteds on even floors, since you're going to be really slow. Brightney is the second one that's in the middle of 2. She probably only exists because of the blackouts. She costs 1,250 ichor and you have to experience 5 blackouts. I put her in the middle because she can run pretty fast and also do machines fast. She has the worst stealth, but during blackouts she is very much a support character for the team with her ability Nightlight, which highlights the Twisteds for 8 seconds. In the survivalist section we have Scraps, costing 1,500 and 50% research on Goob, her brother. They also have a similar ability, hers being Crafty Grapple, which instead of pulling people to her, she pulls herself to people, saving herself in the way that Goob saves others. She is well-rounded and can handle herself, as her ability shows. Onto the mains, which have an active and passive ability. First, we have the best boy Pebble in the kiting section. 5-star speed and 4 stamina, he is the fastest in the game. His active ability is Fetch, letting him sniff out the items around him. His passive is Survival Instincts, which is when he has 1 heart left, he gains a 25% more stamina and stealth boost. He costs 3,750 ichor and 100% research on Twisted Pebbles and 100% mastery on Toodles. Our main Mac Rusher V, who has 5-star extraction speed. Her active mic check allows her and the rest of the team to see the Twisteds for 5 seconds. Her passive camera hijack allows her to see the nearest uncompleted machine. She costs 4,500 ichor, 100% research on Twisted V, and 100% mastery on Brightney. The last main Astro is a support character who has 5-star stealth. His active nighttime restores 50% stamina for the toons around him, and his passive well rested allows him to generate stamina 50% faster. He costs 5,000 ichor, 100% research on Twisted Astro, and to encounter Twisted Dandy. And finally, Shrimpo. His entire existence is to make the player suffer. 1 star on everything, and his ability is literally called Bully, and it makes him worse. He only costs 100 ichor, but that's because he's cursed, so only get him if you want to have a horrible time. To finish this section off, I will quickly be mentioning the unreleased toons that we have seen, such as Sprout, Shelly, Tisha, Cosmo, Gliston, and Flutter. Once they come out, I will make a video for them too. Twisteds. Twisteds are very important to know for your survival in your teams. Some are more common than others and some are very rare, so I'll go over each one. The commons, who are Boxton, Poppy, Shrimpo, and Toodles, which are actually kinda a relief other than Toodles because she is very, very, very fast and crawls on all 4s like a dog. Uncommon being Razzle and Dazzle, Brightney, and Roger. Razzle and Dazzle and Roger aren't really a threat unless you activate them. Watch out for the capsules that don't have straps over them, and make sure not to run inside Razzle and Dazzle's vines. Brightney isn't bad, but if she is on the floor, there's a higher chance of a blackout. In the rare section, we have Goobs and Scraps. They are a threat, both still having their abilities. They can snipe you from far away. So, if they're in a round, make sure to watch your surroundings and get behind something before they can use their ability. Now we have the legendaries, which is Pebble, V, and Astro. Pebble, being the fastest character, is also the fastest and scariest Twisted, being gigantic and seeing you from very far away. If you don't get away quickly, you will most certainly lose a heart. V is not very fast, but they will distract you in many ways with ads every once in a while. Astro is also not very fast, but if you mess up a skill check, they will take away progress, which can be very annoying. Now Dandy the shopkeeper will only come out if you ignore his shop at least 3 times. He isn't that fast, but if he catches up to you, say bye-bye, because he can one-hit you and you will die even if you have 3 hearts. If you don't know how to avoid them, then go around an obstacle like a shelf or boxes and lose their line of sight. Always make sure you're near an obstacle and know where you're going if a Twisted starts chasing you. Now, with all of that said, who do you really need to worry about? Toodles, Goob, Scraps, and Pebbles. Toodles being fast and small and being hard to see during blackouts. Goob and Scraps because you may not see them and you definitely can't in blackouts. And finally Pebbles, which is just a menace as a Twisted and even worse in a blackout. So just be careful when you see any of these in a blackout because they are very, very annoying. Trinkets. Now this video is probably getting long, so I'm just going to say the names of the trinkets and where they are found, and then tell you what to use for each toon. In the shop, in the lobby, we have the alarm, coin purse, machine manual, speed shoes, speedometer, thermos, thinking cap, and wrench. Now research is from the Twisteds chasing you and picking up capsules off the ground. Once a character research is at 100%, you get a trinket, which that applies to that character. Boxton has a blue bandana, Poppy has a pink bow, Brightney has a spare bulb, Shrimpo has a brick, never use that. Toodles has a dog plush, Razzle and Dazzle has a ribbon spool. Roger has a magnifying glass, Goob has a friendship bracelet, Scrap has a crayon set, Astro has a nightcap, Pebble has a bone, V has a remote, and Dandy has a Dandy plush. Now, which ones should you use? I personally recommend to use the Speed Shoes, Pink Bow, or Dog plush, because it's always better to be faster. However, if you want to be faster on machines, use the Blue Bandana, Magnifying Glass, or Wrench. However, if you're using Pebbles or Goob, you should use the V remote, because they are already slow on machines and you'll be busy kiting the whole time anyways. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I helped you better understand Dandy's world. In the future, I will be making playthrough videos and going through strategies for each character during that. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!